Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the page. Ghana, welcome you, the world, Africa. This is where we get those who matter when it comes to sports development. Something has been cooked in the past. It is being served little by little. 2025 edition has started, but currently it is entering into that stage, that peak level. And so today we are throwing our spotlight on athletics. And that athletics too that we are looking at the grassroots one, developing it from the local community, from the town folks. So it's something that everybody is buying into it. The community people are accepting it and appreciating it. So that's what we want to throw a little bit spotlight on why you and I should get interested in this particular project that is going on. I know at the end of the day, plus or minus from where I say, they will tell me that we want to nurture talent, but there is something more to it than just nurturing the talent. And at the end of the day, what really do they want to do? Have you heard about Volta Athletics Championship? Yes, Volta Athletics Championship. Have you heard about it? If yes, how well do you know everything about it? Today, I have two personalities in the house that will break it down for us to understand it more. Why, if you are part of a corporate entity, you can decide to just get closer and ask them, how can I also contribute my little quota for us to start or help sustain this particular project? Because if it goes well, if Volta Athletics becomes the ish, then by the time you say, Jack, every region will be replicating it. And at the end of the day, Ghana becomes the winning center for us. So let me introduce my guest. For a gentleman in green, not white, in green. Yeah. The vegetation will tells you where understand where water region is and what. But why did everybody when going there say water region is number 9? They like the number 9. You are the strikers of this country or what?
I cannot explain it.
So there's a tradition here we do. Anybody that comes to our studio for the first time, no matter the year, the month in the year, we'll give you the platform to tell us who you are. So I have your name. I know your name. But I want my viewers to know you. So we'll break the ice for us. Start from this premise. Tell us your name and your role in this chair, not at home or office or any other thing. So let's go. Now tell Ghanaians who you are.
Great. My name is Eldee Sefadzi. I'm the project manager for the Volta Athletics Championship.
Okay. So for now, he is the big man.
Okay.
So let me go to my extreme left. I've been praying to get this gentleman in my studio, and you understand why. When he introduces himself, you understand why. Because this man showed us like so many things. In fact, if I say he's a pivot, maybe you say, why are you saying that? But this man is a big man. Honorable, most welcome.
Thank you, Theo.
Please tell us your name and I won't say anything again.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Horen K. Quashigah. I work with the Sports and Research Directorate of the Ministry of Sport and Recreation.
Okay. So he says he works there. On that note. No. That's it. So that's it. Volta Athletics. I've heard it. I've seen pictures. I've seen videos. I've got closer to the authority in charge of athletics in this country. They speak highly of this event. Break it for the Ghanaian. For the first time coming on this set, Ghanaians are watching. Everybody outside the country can watch us online and stuff like that. What brought about this concept?
So, you asked that I should define my role within this particular chair, but just to give a slight background, I'm also the CEO of NZ Events. We are an events management company where we are specializing in corporate and sporting events. And we had the opportunity to work on the first African Paralympic Games, as well as the 13th African Games that went on last year. And it was an eye-opener for me personally. And growing up, I've always been interested in sports. I used to be a former athlete myself from Audome Senior High School. So I started to think back, why are we not seeing more of our people from, let's say, around the Volta region, from the OT regions, being represented in national sports? And then, because I noticed that a lot of our athletes are being scouted either from Accra, Kumasi, or, the central region. So what happens to the rest of the regions? Because I believe that we have a lot of athletes that are, don't have the opportunities, to show their skills and their talents. Because I remember that growing up, when we go to inter-schools, inter-regionals, the Volta athletes were the ones who were, no size. Yes, we didn't have size. So I thought it wise that, okay, what can I do to revive grassroots athletics within the Volta region, within the OT regions? And that's what pushed me to come up with this particular concept.
Wow, great. When Horen is around, because of where I know the office he occupies, and I see him really particular about an event, then I know that he has done some research into it, and I've seen the pluses and minuses, that it has a positive effect more than the negative. Chief, why is your office, I mean Ministry of Sports and Recreation, why are you keen on making sure that this event is sustained and developed to its maximum limit?
Thank you. The simple reason is that it ties in with government development agenda, especially in the sports sector. It ticks the box of cooperative and collaborative approach to sports development. It also promotes private sector participation in the space. You hear people say a lot, government can't do it all, government can't do it all, and it is the truth. Because we don't have all the resources, we don't have all the opportunities. But we are tasked with the mandate of facilitating developmental programs and projects in the country. So when Enzi approached us with this concept, we are very happy because we felt he was already practicing what we are putting on paper as policy and strategy. He is a private sector person who has identified a gap. The gap being the facility shortages and the opportunities for young men and young women in some parts of the country to develop their talents. In fact, even get the opportunity to be recognized before we even talk about developing and nurturing and probably getting a career out of their talents. So we view sports as a comprehensive and all-encompassing when you talk about the development agenda. We always give the example that when you put a sports facility even in the middle of the forest, you drive developments to that forest. You construct roads there, you send water, you send electricity, other businesses will spring up around it, people will start getting jobs. It will open up an area like no other industry or sector can. And we also feel that we are not exploring the full potential of sports in the country to solve lifestyle problems, to promote education, to promote social cohesion and peace. So we felt that this program on its own is like a microcosm of what sports can do when all parties come on board and lend their efforts. So the ministry, the minister, and the chief director gladly jumped on board to put our small power behind it to help push it and support it as much as we can to make it a success.
Okay, so I'm coming back to you. So when we talk about the Volta Athletics, what are we looking at? Everything that we see in the world of athletics, or segmented ones, selected ones? Walk us through.
All right, great. So I think they say that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And ideally, we want to grow it to begin to challenge the likes of the Diamond Leagues, potentially even the Olympics, right? But we have to start small. And in starting small, we identified certain key competitions that we feel, have the international reputation. If we are going to train our people in those particular activities, it wouldn't take too much effort to get going. So we are focused on a particular number of events. The first one being a half marathon.
Okay.
We are looking at 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, 4x100 relays, and 4x400 relays. So I'll say in this particular edition, these are the main competitions that we are focusing on. But like I said, as we grow, we'll begin to include more and more activities within the athletics domains. But these are our main focus for now.
So the name Volta Athletics, does it supposed to mean that only indigenes of Volta region can participate?
Not at all. Not at all. So the idea is that if you, aside, let's say, Accra, Kumasi, and potentially the central region, that I'll say have international standard facilities. In most of the other regions, there is none. In the Volta and Oti region, where I am focusing on, there is no internationally recognized standard pitch for athletics.
Okay.
None. So if you look at how far back the development of athletics in that region is, that is why we are focused on that particular space. You get me? And we believe that the talents that are able to come out of there, if we look at the ecotourism opportunities, because the Volta region is one of the cleanest regions in Accra.
Say it again. Say it again.
I say that the Volta region, not is one, is the cleanest region in Ghana.
No, Accra is out. Accra is out.
Yes. So, and it's one of the most green regions when you are taking the world even at large. Okay. You know, in terms of let's say forestry, you know, even the air quality.
So clean air.
Oh, clean air.
You can use it to train.
It's
clean
not
air.
You know, your
serene environment.
Thank you. You know, the mental aspect is beautifully taken care of. So we felt that if we were able to, you know, take the movement from that place, then it gives us opportunity to build, like my colleague Horen was saying, you build a facility. Because if you build a facility, you are going to bring business in for hotels. You are going to bring business in for, you know, the small traders around. You are even going to bring business for farmers. Because predominantly, most of the people in that region do subsistence farming. So if they are able to sell more now, it kind of like builds a whole economy around it. An interesting fact is that, you know, when you look at the global sporting industry, it is valued at about $2.65 trillion. Then the question is, how much of this are we able to tap into as Ghana? How much are we able to tap into this on even a regional level? Because I feel like if there's a regional approach to this, it ties into a cohesive national approach to sports development within the country. And for me, who is passionate about it and who has the opportunity to be able to drive some of these conversations, I felt that, you know, starting it from the Volta and Oti regions was, you know, was advantageous. Okay. Because there's nothing there, start afresh. So if we are moving there, we know that, okay, this is where we are able to build it from. This is where we are able to take it to. So we are able to track the progress over time.
So now that the ministry is on board, does it mean that Ghana Athletics has endorsed this?
I'm happy you brought that. In terms of endorsement partners, you know, number one, they have to say a big thank you to Horen, to the Chief Director, Mr. William Kate, and the Honorable Minister. You know, they've been very, very supportive of this particular initiative. I must also say a big thank you to Ghana Athletics, Mr. Bawa Fuseni and his team. They've also been very, very supportive of what we've been doing. I must also mention the National Sports Authority
and their director. I know Auntie Joyce.
Yes.
Auntie Joyce was my teacher.
Oh, wow.
Class. She has been beaten.
You know, they were showing I saw that they were showing the clips a short while ago. She was actually on field for the event.
When we were small, she was happy, Madam. So when growing up and I saw her at the NSA and doing everything, so I said, okay, that's why.
Oh, she was very. She was very supportive, and I must say a few others too, like Innova DDP, have also been supportive of us. I must also give a big thank you to the Honorable MP for Ho West.
I was coming to the parliamentarians. You see these stats you are giving us.
Yes.
Are the voter caucus in Parliament really aware of the potential that sports has? So for that region alone, that they can really go to the House and really convince the rest of them that, okay, for instance, we are going to have a festival. The component for sports, I want even the speaker himself to just pass through one and just see
Yes.
what the region has in terms of sports.
Yes.
Are they really aware to push this? So the Minister for Sports doesn't talk plenty. So he goes there and Volta Athletics agrees.
Yes.
Accra agrees.
Yes.
So it doesn't talk plenty.
Yes.
They know that
Yes.
at least a little, their presence alone
Yes.
will ginger a young boy or a young girl to stay in school and do sports.
Yes.
Because at the end there's potential.
Yes.
Are they aware?
So we have actually reached out to the Volta and OT regional caucuses.
Okay.
We've written letters to each and every single MP, informing them about this particular event. The Honorable James Guno, who is the Volta regional minister, is very much in the know of what we are trying to do. But then I think what we'll have to push for is for them to, begin to show face.
That's the thing. We need to see them.
Yes. Yes.
Can you imagine that this thing is going to happen? Okay, 100 meters. And then Uncle James is standing by. Okay, I'll flag it.
Yes.
Let me start.
Yes.
Or I'll be at the finishing to
Yes.
just present something.
Yes. Yes.
Starting with a minister,
It's not
a student, a young lady.
Yes.
Because we growing up and learning sport, we're told that Ghana, the region that produces the best high jumpers, were from the Volta region.
Yeah.
That's what I know from what I learned.
Yes.
Maybe I won't learn it, maybe it's
Yeah.
not true. But I was told that the Volta region is one hub that produces the best high jumpers in this
Yeah.
country for the national teams.
Okay.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
So now that you are bringing the rest, because we know Ashanti for the sprints,
Yeah.
and we know the northern region for the long distances. Yes.
Yeah.
So now Volta will be what? Now that you are moving from high jump.
We are coming to clear everybody.
So I mean, how can we? Yes, you've done some, but how can we push so that these are members from prominent personalities in the Volta region can really embrace it and see that indeed, although there is recreation aspect of sport, it has moved from being just recreational to something that has become a multi-million-dollar investment that has so many rippling effects.
So I think number one is where we look at education and advocacy, because in the tree adage they'll say obi nima obi che.
Okay.
And I must say that we have a lot of competing issues. If you take the Volta and OT regions together, there are so many people are talking about roads, people are talking about commerce, and all these conversations are going on. But the fact of the matter is, if we pay attention to only sports alone, it has the capacity to lift up all the sectors. If you look at the Volta and OT regions alone, you hear me? Because like Horen was saying, if we were able to build only just one facility within the Volta region, you will have to build roads to access the place. I mentioned that we will have to build accommodation facilities.
So all these hotels must spring up.
Exactly, which are providing what? Jobs for the people. It's providing work for, let's say, our contractors who are into buildings and stuff like that. For people who are into the food, or should I say the agri space.
Transport.
So you say that there's I'll say the value chain when it comes to sports touches on all sectors, even in events. Event management. Exactly, which are providing what? Jobs for the people. It's providing work for, let's say, our contractors who are into buildings and stuff like that. For people who are into the food, or should I say the agri space.
Transport.
So you say that there's I'll say the value chain when it comes to sports touches on all sectors, even in events. Event management. Exactly, which are providing what? Jobs for the people. It's providing work for, let's say, our contractors who are into buildings and stuff like that. For people who are into the food, or should I say the agri space.
Transport.
So you say that there's I'll say the value chain when it comes to sports touches on all sectors, even in events. Event management. Exactly, which are providing what? Jobs for the people. It's providing work for, let's say, our contractors who are into buildings and stuff like that. For people who are into the food, or should I say the agri space.
Transport.
So you say that there's I'll say the value chain when it comes to sports touches on all sectors, even in events. Event management. Exactly, which are providing what? Jobs for the people. It's providing.
We believe sports In fact, when we talk, we say sports is a vehicle for comprehensive sustainable development.
Vehicle for comprehensive sustainable development. Nice English, nice language. So you go into it and then you really understand whether it's a tractor or abuboya or tricycle. It's all involved.
Yes,
but sincerely, it's a nice initiative. When really are we seeing it on the ground happening? This particular when is it running? When is it taking place?
So I think the very first, the maiden, or should I say the launch, took place from the 27th to the 29th of March. Took place in Chito Audome Senior High School. Those are the videos that have been showing on the screen, and it was an amazing launch. For the subsequent ones, we expect for the OT region qualifiers.
Okay, so there will be qualifiers.
Yes.
Okay.
They are qualifiers.
So my friends at OT, when is this starting?
So theirs is supposed to happen on the 24th of May.
Okay.
At the Jasican Training College.
Okay.
Then on the 7th of June, we are going to the whole sports stadium.
Okay.
For the
June 7th.
June 7th.
Okay.
For the Volta for the Central Volta one. Then for Southern Volta, we are looking at, I think, the 14th of June for the Southern Volta one to take place. Then we have the grand finale. So the qualifiers that are happening is to allow everybody and anybody to be able to participate.
Okay.
Then based on your qualifying times and your positions, we are going to select people to participate in the grand finale, which is going to take place from June 24th to 26th of June 24th to 26th, also at the whole sports stadium. So basically, this is the formats for the event.
So if I heard you right, everybody that is able.
Oh yes.
So it is not age.
No.
Bound. It is not gender bias.
No. Not
Women
at
can
all.
come, men can come, young ladies can come.
Yes.
So far as you have the ability that you can run, come and justify your inclusion. So you are from OT, you win, you qualify for the main one. Then you come and display your stuff.
Yes. And funny enough, you don't necessarily have to be from the OT region to go and compete in the OT region. These are 4 different qualifiers that we've created an avenue for. So maybe if you didn't even qualify in OT, you can say that, okay, I'll come for the Volta Central qualifiers, or I'll come for the Southern Volta qualifiers. And then it's just to maximize the opportunity of actually going into the finale, which is taking place in June. Now, the idea, the reason why we have Ghana Athletics involved and the likes of the National Sports Authority as well as the ministry involved is that, in 2028, we have the Olympic Games, LA Olympic Games happening. Before that, we have the African Games also going to happen in 2027, I think. And then
the Youth Olympics.
We have the Youth Olympics.
So there are so many.
So we have a number of international events coming up, and the idea is that if Ghana Athletics is there, and they see that Kojo Poku or Horen Quashigah
can be a big thing, then we are good to go. So how time runs fast? I told you time is running fast. Sorry, we are taking out from the studio. I wish we get another time. I don't know your movement, but we'll get another time, come and explore the other aspects. But what message are you leaving Ghanaians now? 30 seconds so that we check out from the studio. Okay. Why everybody should be there? Just tell us.
So like we said, it is sports. It brings people together. It also gives opportunity to people, not just to live healthy lives, but to also explore economic activities. It makes you healthy, it puts money in your pockets, it makes everybody happy. Okay. And it also contributes to the national development, which we are all working towards.
Okay, so we are checking out. For somebody to really get access to you on social media, where can they get you? So they call and then get more before even any other thing happens. Where can they get you?
So for anybody who is interested in participating, first you can go to www.vacgh.com. vacgh.com. Okay. So that's like Volta Athletics Championships GH.com. You just go there, you will get whatever information that you are looking for, and then you can register. Okay. But also, if you need to give a call to support us or to sponsor, you can give a call to 0599 428 555.
For the last time.
0599 428 555.
Great. So the last ever language I learned was Akpe. Thank you very much for this insightful discussion. I wish we had more time to do more of this, but we'll do.
Sure.
I salute everybody in Parliament, or our parliamentarians, our big men over there who really know the Volta region and are from there. That we beg you, corporate Volta region. Everybody who knows something about the Volta region, please come on board. A little will help transform a life. Maybe our next Azamati will be coming, will be bettered from this one. Who knows? Let's go and do it. That's been the page. The page will take same time tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Once again, I say, Ape.